Welcome again. Happy Thursday. Go ahead and take your most comfortable seated position, if you would, in the center of your mat this morning. And as I like to reply to or share with, I like to stack my ankles. That might be for you, it might not. You may like to stack your ankles on top of one another. Another idea is, as you get into what you feel is your normal, most comfortable seated position, maybe just before we get started, try it with the alternate leg that you usually do not have as dominant on top, just to start to create awareness in your body. Why does it feel like this knee, for me, which is actually my left knee, likes to ride up? Your bodies are different in all of our parts. So your body's different than mine. So I want you to find always in our practice, whatever that position is that makes you the most comfortable. Only you know that, okay? So wherever you are, let's pull the flesh back and away from the bum. So we sit right down on those sit bones, those pointy bones, and then draw the pelvic hammock up. Think of that V right here in our anatomy, and I want you to squeeze it on up and feel how your spine just starts to stack over itself differently. Placing your hands down if you want grounding, up if you want receiving, your call. And then let's just go ahead before we start on our breath and do some nice gentle shoulder rolls. Yeah. Thanks, Maddie. You love that bone today. And then the other direction. Oh, that feels so good. And then find a place of stillness, my friends. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable. And if not, then just softly gaze down the tip of your nose, okay? Find a place as to where your chin is. And this time, I want you to take your chin all the way down to your chest first. Taking a breath, breathe all the way up the spine, up through the back body. And then as you exhale, go ahead and let the heaviness of your neck take the chin closer to the chest. Keeping in mind as we begin to relax the inner thighs, let the knees get wide. Let the back of the hands get heavier and sink into the inner fleshy part of your knee. And then if the upper body starts to curl forward, let it. And just take 5 nice, soft opening breaths here. Fully scooping the breath up into the heart. And then as you exhale, let everything get heavy and bow forward. Feel the breath ride all the way up into the heart. And as you release, allow that heart to curve your spine forward even more. One more nice long breath. Outstanding. Now really glue the chest and chin together. And take an inhale and lift the head up, releasing the chin at the last moment and allowing the ears to come back right over the shoulders. And as you exhale, allowing the elbows to come inward into your side body. Now let us really begin tapping into where we are right now on our mat. In a safe space, allowing ourselves in the safe space to feel the breath travel up through the body, filling that warm heart. And then as we exhale, let the shoulder blades and the elbows drain the breath all the way down into the earth. Repeat as you will, keeping in mind an even inhale count to an even exhale count today. Feel the skin around your eyes relax. Feel the jaw soften. Feel the throat open as that breath travels through your body. Friend, as we practice this morning, remember that's exactly what we're here to do, is to practice. We practice opening the throat for our mind to hear words of encouragement bubble up from ourselves. We're here to practice releasing tensions and sockets that we hold on much too tightly. And by being aware of our breath, it's the gift of the best tool we have in ourselves to lift ourselves up in greater joy and greater happiness. Couple more breaths, guys. Find and notice if there's a space you can release just a wee bit more. And then softly roll the palms over if the palms were up. If they were down, go ahead and roll them off the tips of your knees and bow forward, folding the elbows back. And start to do big waist circles, really soft and slow. So as you come to the back and extend your arms, exhale. And as you bow forward, go ahead and inhale. No weight in the fingertips, no, none. Relax the head and find the movement that starts to awaken your gift of a body. One more time in whatever direction you are traveling. And when you come back to center, then I'd like you to reverse direction. And as you reverse direction, see if you can lean out from the base of the hips a little bit further without rolling the hips forward. Keeping this all movement in the waist. Leaning the crown of the head over. Nice and gentle. Yeah. The next time we find ourselves forward in neutral position, I'd like you to stall. Take the belly up into the low back. Slide the forearms forward. See if you can just put the elbows right in front of your legs, palms softly down. Press through the fingertips, and now lean out of that lower back. Just a little bit more. Roll the tail into the mat, okay? Soft and gentle here. Keep the belly lifted. Now roll the shoulders back onto the back. See if there's any adjustment there. Hang out here. If the neck is okay with it and you want to hang the head down, go ahead. Go ahead and rotate it from side to side. You listen to your body. This is your practice. There's no rush, nothing. Just feeling. Bring our fingertips, so we're up on our fingertips, so it has cupped hands, and walk your hands over to the right. You're still up on those fingertips. Now walk your left arm away as far as you can. Lay your right elbow back down on the forearm, and then see how close you can get your left elbow to the ground. Your upper body is nearing the top of your right calf. Take a couple of breaths. Feel that side body stretch. Now, before we move again, I want you to lift your fingers off the ground and press through the palm. Now lay the fingers back down without gripping. Take another breath. Breathe it all the way up. And on that inhale, see if you can extend the side body. And then on the exhale, see if the body wants to fold and bow towards your leg a little more. On your next inhale, come back up on those fingertips and walk around to the opposite side. No rush. Remember, this is the quality of your stretch. There's no timer. Now, once our body is over the left thigh and calf, walk the right fingers away first. Feel the side body. Lay the left elbow down, right underneath the shoulder. Now lay that right hand down. I mean, see if the elbow comes towards the earth. It doesn't matter if you make it to the earth or not. It's seeing where your body goes. Now check in with the belly again. Take that nice inhale. Lean out of the hips just a wee bit more. And on your exhale, let everything fall forward. Exhale completely. Nice. Back up on those fingertips. We're going to walk back around to center. Tuck the chin and cat the back. And slowly bring yourself up into that seated neutral position. Nice. Good job. Now let's take the left ear to the left shoulder. Just feel the breath. Relax the shoulders down. Come back to neutral. And then drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Check in with your hands, gang. Relax them, no gripping. Come back to neutral, and we're going to take the chin down to the chest and start to do soft circles. Reaching up to the sky when your head is to the back with the nose. Slow, slow, slow. Listen to your neck. When we wake up in the morning, those bones can be really, really, really cranky. And find out about your shoulders. Let them relax down. Remember keeping heart over pelvis. Yeah, let's go the opposite direction. One more to even it out. Come back to neutral. I want you to take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Reach up long and tall with that left arm. Index finger reaching, reaching, reaching. Then take the palm back and away from the body, about 6 inches or thereabouts, and just gently look over that left shoulder. Check in with the belly. Squeeze it up. Root yourself down. Those sit bones are pressing in all the time. Now picture in your mind, if you will, a washcloth and gently wring out the last of the suds of that washcloth. And then like we did on Tuesday, I want you to take your eyeballs and reach around. See if the eyeballs themselves can gaze behind your body further. Terrific. Slowly unwind yourself. Take both arms over. Head, palms are next to one another. Before we do anything, take that middle finger, reach up, take the palms forward, fingers spread wide, slowly come into a forward fold. Keeping the tail down into the mat. Take the hands as close to the mat or on the mat as possible. Drop the elbows, drop the shoulders. Feel that stretch in the upper back. Yeah. Tuck the chin, roll back up. Left hand outside of the right thigh. Thank you, Maddie. Back hand back to the back of the body. Now we're not leaning back. We're lifted up. So our shoulders are still over the hips. Really focus on your belly button area. This is all about a waist spinal twist. Our hips are pressing down. We're rooted. Very nice. On an inhale, sweep on up. One more forward hinge. Reach, 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 reach this time. Comes to the sky. Ears are framed by the biceps. See how far you can get down? Inhale back up center. Excellent. And then close the pose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get on our backs. So spin right around. If you still have your blanket there or have a blanket there, that's fine. Give your bum just a little bit of extra cushion. Arms are going to go straight out from our shoulders. So I want you to really reach with the thumbs forward up to the sky. Really reach so that the back is straight. Lift the toes and spread the toes. And then lay them down and anchor those feet. It's like you're pushing the feet forward and they're helping you anchor yourself in as slowly as you possibly can return back onto that back. As slow as possible. Once you land, bring the knees in, give yourself a hug, and just roll from the edge of the hip bone, that sacrum bone, just nice and easy. If you're on a towel or a blanket, your hips are going to be just slightly lifted. That's a nice, comfortable place to be some days. Yeah. Then we're going to take our hands out into a T, shoot the heels up to the sky. Really lift up through the heel. Now, before we make any movement with our legs, gang, I want you to press that belly button through your back so the back is flat on the floor. That's what I want you to focus on this whole time. Then point and flex. Point and flex. Really press through the lower back. Gives the back safety and builds some abdominal strength. And the next time you point, I want you to open your legs wide on an inhale. Exhale, flex the feet and draw them back up. Inhale wide. Exhale, close. Inhale wide. Exhale, close. 2 more times, your pace. Inhale wide. Exhale, close. Inhale wide and exhale, close. Go ahead and drop the right knee into your armpit. Place both hands, stack them on your shins, and draw the knee up towards the armpit, and then lightly lay that thigh down into the armpit area, keeping the shoulders on the floor, keeping in mind the lower back is still nice and flat. Lifting up through the left heel, follow your breath. Now relax the shoulders for another breath. Relax. Feel your whole back just melt into the mat. On a next inhale, lift the heel back up and drop the left. Remember, first lay the hands on top, right mid-shin, draw the knee into that armpit, and then see if the calf will come closer to the thigh. Relax the shoulders down, lift the right heel up. And breathe. And as you breathe, see if you can relax the upper back, nice and flat. Let those shoulders roll back. Yeah. All right. We're going to take that left heel back up. Arms are going to go back out into a T. Now, here are a couple of variations here. If this is too much on your lower back and you want some more stability, go ahead and put your fingers, your hands together like a diamond. Index and thumbs together, and place that right under the middle of your sacrum. Just to lift those hips a little bit more. If you want more of a lift, you can use a block as well. You find whatever works for you. What I'm going to do is have my arms out into a T. I'm going to take the heels up, tuck the chin slightly into my chest, and slowly lower my right leg, toes pointed almost to the ground, and then I'm going to bring it back up. And then I'm going to lower my left leg. We're going to go back and forth like this, just one leg alternating, moving at your pace, not mine. Remember, it's not the quantity of movement you do in yoga, it's the quality of movement, finding the breath, finding the control. So listen to your body. Couple things that I'm watching in my own body is I'm keeping my shoulder blades flat. And to help do that, I like to have my palms up. And then I press through the backs of my arms. You can also do it with your hands down. Find which works better in your body. One breath, one movement. The other is to keep the lower back working, keeping that back nice and safe. So we're pressing the belly button through the spine, through the floor. And then to help with the neck, we're keeping the chin slightly tucked towards the body. Yep, let's do one more on each side. Nice and controlled. Some good core work. And then draw the knees in, lift the head up to greet the knees, and roll side to side. Placing the feet back on the floor. If you have a towel underneath you, you can leave it there. If you Want to take it out, go ahead and roll it over to the side. Slide the heels under the knees so they're stacked. Press the hands down by the side body, fingers are wide, and now slide the shoulders so they're flat into the mat. I want you to feel the entirety of your arm, the fullness of your palm, and the fingertips of your fingers. And first, just be aware, press that down. Feel how your heart center lifts. Now, take the toes up, spread them wide, press down in those four corners of your feet, lay the toes back down. And on an inhale, press down with all of that body and lift the hips up. And exhale back down. 4 more just like that. Pressing down with the body, lifting the hips up on an inhale, blowing that belly really full. And then releasing our bodies back down to the earth. Here's what I encourage you all to do, is not to rush this. Allow the body on that exhale to really feel the release into the earth. There's no race here. It's really feeling how stable and secure the body is. Pressing down with the hands and the arms. And then see if you can fill your belly up just a little bit more. So it's like your midsection just wants to be a hot air balloon and go up into the clouds. And visualize that blue sky overhead. Oh my, yes. 1 more. The difference here is when you get to the top of this last one, I want you to hold out here and see if you can roll your left shoulder blade under the body and then your right shoulder blade under the body and bind the pose. So fingertips are going to intertwine. Chin is still to chest. Another couple breaths. See if you can fill that belly up a little bit more. Press down through those forearms. Woo-hoo! Nice work. Release one arm at a time. Take that shoulder blade out. And then the other, slowly bring everything back down into the body. Bring the knees in and roll side to side. Excellent. Coming back to neutral, we're going to take those feet right back underneath the knees. We're going to take the right ankle over the left knee, okay? Now, first things first. Flex the right foot so that everything is in an angle. Take your right hand, if you would, and just massage open that right hip. Pressing the flesh out of the hip. Be aware that there is movement in that hip. Yeah. And then slowly start to slide your left heel back to the body. So it's going to lift. And as that knee starts to come into the body, take your hands through the needle on top of the shin and gently draw that calf to hip and then thigh to chest. Now, here's where we want to check in with ourselves. Keeping the shoulders flat. So we want to pull in. Don't worry about pulling in. Let the body just release on how it wants to release. So this is soft shoulders, soft face. Feet are both flexed. Nice. If you want some assistance in there, you can take that right elbow and press the right thigh away. If you want a little bit more, we can lift the upper body, shoulders off, relax neck. Point the left toe, extend the leg long to the sky, and really press down into that lower back just a little bit more. Reaching with the toes to the sky, making that leg as long as possible. But you don't have to. Remember, it's where you want to go on this particular moment. If you're lifted, go ahead and lay yourself back down. Release the arms, but keep the leg extended. And then reach that left big toe towards the ceiling and then to the wall in front of you. And as softly as you are able, I want you to lay everything low. Keep that belly button working. Keep the core working. You got this. Yeah. Once there, relax. Let the right knee get heavy. And then softly roll over to on your left hip, lifting your right, so you're still in that figure four, and take the right knee across. Using the left hand if you want, lay that on the outside of your thigh. Rotate those shoulder blades, see if you can lay them flat. If the neck is okay, gaze over your right shoulder, palm up. 5 breaths. Breathe so deeply, kids, that you can feel that breath all the way into your open armpit. And on an exhale, see if the shoulders don't want to just melt into the mat even further. Yep. Nice job. Softly roll yourself back onto your back and extend that right leg long. Breathe the arms up overhead, point the toes away. And on an exhale, come on up and forward hinge. Inhale, reach to the sky, softly lower yourself back down to the mat. On your next inhale, lift back up and forward hinge. We're going to do this 3 more times. I know it's good for our bellies. Remember, I don't know about you, but I ate a little bit more Halloween candy than normal. Inhale back up. Exhale, forward hinge. Release to the floor. Keeping the feet flexed as best possible. If this is with your arms overhead, if you want to use your elbows to come up and hinge forward, sliding down on the mat, that's another option. One last time. And if your hands don't go to your toes, that's fine. Hang out here for 1 breath. Sigh it out your mouth. Softly bring ourselves back down to the mat. Draw the left knee in, place the left ankle over the right top of the right knee. Slide that right heel towards us. Make any adjustments you need. Lifting that right knee into our body. Thread the needle with the left hand. Lay palms on top of one another. Flex the feet. Now remember, I mentioned in the beginning, one side of your body will feel different than the other side of the body. Take notice as we move from side to side. What does it feel like being you on the left and on the right? Just acknowledge it. That's all your body is looking for. Slow everything down. You may not do as deep a stretch on this side as you did on the other side, but if you choose, go ahead and press the lower back into the mat, lift the head and heart center up. Extend your right leg, point the toe, keep the left flexed. Draw your chin and your gaze up to that right big toe. Elbows out wide. Nice. Allow the head and heart center to come down. Release the hands out into a T. And we'll softly, softly, softly lay everything back down to the mat. First, let everything just go soft and heavy. Then shift a little weight into your right hip. Rolling the left thigh over, knee towards the floor, taking the right hand and maybe give it some assistance. And again, if the neck is okay with it, gaze over the left shoulder. Fill the belly, and as you exhale, maybe the knee rolls across the body a little bit further. And again, maybe not. Excellent. Release the hand from the leg. Come on over onto your back. Slide the knees up underneath the ankles, underneath the knees. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a side to side. Then cross the ankles, nice firm core, and roll yourself back up onto a seated position. And come up on all fours. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Thumbs are looking across at one another. Go ahead and tap the tops of your feet. Wake them up. Then lift the heels and sink back into the heels. Stretch out those arches. Press forward with your hands. And then come on up, back up into a tabletop position. Dropping into our cow. And then exhaling back into a cat. Let's do that 4 more times. Really full breaths. Arch the spine. Drop that belly. Feel like you're painting it towards the mat. Spread the sit bones apart. Maybe slide the toes away from the ankles a little bit more. See if you can find a little more opening on your ankle. One more. Great. Let's go ahead and lift ourselves up into a pencil, okay? So we're up on our knees, shoulders are over hips, head is over heart, heart is over pelvis. Placing our hands at heart center, I want you to take your left leg out straight from the hip. So take a moment wherever you can find comfort that you can see that it's straight out. Now caution, do not lock your knee. That's not what we're here to do. And really press down with the top of your right foot. Go ahead and take the arms up overhead and then go ahead and lean towards the left. The right palm is down. Reach that middle finger towards me and feel that side stretch, okay? Inhale back up center and then take the right hand all the way down to the floor. Now palm of the left hand is pointed down, gaze is down to your right hand. You can be flat, or you can be up on fingertips, or you can be on a block or a book. So that's the move. We're going to inhale back up center. We're going to exhale to the left. Inhale back up center. And then exhale down to the right. Moving at your pace. We'll do it 3 more times. Really deep side body stretches. And then we're also taking the opportunity to stretch out that extended left leg. Keeping it safe, lifting the arch, feel the outer edge of your foot and the toes. Yep. Excellent. One more. All right, kids, we're going to come back up to center, close the pose. Take that left knee under the body, hands back under the shoulders, 3 cat and cow. See if you can flex that spine just a little bit more. Coming back to neutral, come back up into your pencil shape, shoulders over hips. Head over heart, heart over pelvis, and take that right leg out long. Again, take a look at it. Keep it a little soft, breathing our arms up. Release on the right side. Left palm is down, middle finger is reaching away. Just to become aware, come back to middle, and then lean over to the left. This time, right palm is down. Really take that middle finger towards me. Extend from the outer line of your foot. Breathe yourself back up. And now 4 more. Moving at your pace, not mine. Keeping in mind that your left foot is actually working. Keeping it pressed into the mat. Moving from side to side, kind of like a tick-tock. Working at keeping everything stacked to the best of your body's ability. And when you practice this again, if you choose, you're finding moving to the side of the non-extended leg too hard, I really encourage you to put a stack of books, get a block, something like that, so that you feel safe. as you extend and stretch. Safety first, always. And if it's not your cup of tea, then don't do it, because that's really okay. Back up to center. Then we'll close that pose. Great. Come on back up to center. Close the pose at heart center. Knee under body. Hands out in front. Sink the hips down into a nice child's pose. Make this child's pose to give you some release. Breathe all the way up into the back body, and as you relax, tiptoe the fingers out wide, long. Take another breath, blow the belly against the top of the thighs, and as you exhale, see if you can bring the elbows down to the mat, stretching the outer side of the shoulders and armpits. Take one more giant breath, and as you exhale, allow the hips to sink back away from those extended armpits. Now hang out. Following your breath. Terrific. Come on up on your tiptoes of those fingertips. Walk to the top of your mat. Shoulders are over our wrists. Roll the toes under, find your plank. Take the heels back, okay? Tick-tock from side to side, dropping the hips and the heels one side and then to the other. Doesn't matter which one you start. It's about keeping it even. Couple more. Press down through all the pads of your hands. Push forward with that pressure. Take a little pressure off the wrists. And again, if it's too much, you can always come up on your fists. All right, come back to neutral. Lift the hips up into our first down dog. Now I want you to bend the knees as deep as possible and draw the chest towards the knees, pressing the hands forward. Breathe in that underbelly and tilt the hips up to the sky, just a touch. Now softly lengthen the legs so your back is in position. Good job. And then start to pedal out, walk that dog. Bending the knees as deeply as they need. And then find stillness. On an inhale, breathe up into your plank. Take the knees to the mat, fold the elbows back, and lower yourself down to the mat. Forehead is on the mat. Now let's press the tops of our feet in so it lifts our knees. Slide the shoulders down and away. Lift the hands and lift the heart center. Take a breath that you're blowing through that bottom belly. And as you release, come on back down to the mat. One more time. Inhale up. And if you are able to take your hands off or at least lighten the load in the hands, that's fine. And then exhale back down. Lift ourselves back up into a plank. Exhale back into our dog. And softly walk our hands back to greet our feet. All right, here we are. Take the knees really bent, keeping the knees over the ankles. Take the hips back. Bring the hands in front of the body, hand in each elbow. Breathe here and just maybe sway from side to side. Or maybe just release and let everything go. You get to decide. Breathe so deep and then just let it all go. Release the hands from the elbows. Tuck the chin into our chest. Slowly rise to standing, seeing how carefully you can stack each vertebrae. Oh my, yes. How wonderful. So rolling those shoulders onto our back, sweeping the arms up overhead, intertwining those fingers into a steeple and exhaling to your left. Inhaling back up and exhaling to your right. Four more times, side to side. Core is lifted, squeeze up through your pelvic hammock. Press down through your feet. Nice lateral movement. Super deep breaths. If you find that you seem to sway the hips, see if you can press down into the feet a little bit more to keep the hips very stable. So you're reaching up out of the side body, right? You're reaching tall, and then you're stretching that reach over to the other side. Yeah. One last time. And then to the right. Nice. Come on back to center and let's close the pose. Take the hands at heart center, elbows out, right in front of the shoulders. Now take the hands out to greet. So you're right in that position, right? Press the palms of the hands together. Really, 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 really press. Feel the inside of your shoulder muscles engage. Now I want you to lift your toes and slide those quads up the thighs, and then lay the toes down. Check in with that belly button. Is it lifted? That pelvic hammock, is it lifted? See if you can grow your spine just a little bit more. Chin on the horizon, gaze right over the top of your fingertips. Keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Now lift the crown of your head all the way to the sky. Feel your entire body rock solid, really engaged. Couple more breaths. You got it. I know, you're just standing and it's a lot of work, just pressing against each other, right? Smile on your face, let everything go. Go ahead and shake those arms out and start to sway from side to side, tapping hip to side. Let those arms do whatever you want. Maybe you want to even start to bend your knees. That's fine. Just go ahead. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. Nice. All right. Let's come back to center. Nice job, guys. Sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Sit down into a chair. Now, hips are back, right? Core is lifted. We're not leaning over. We're not folded over. We're trying to lift here. So if that's too hard, don't take your knees down quite so far, okay? Here's what I want you to really look towards. Are your knees behind your toes? Now, press through those sit bones. Spread them wide and take them to the wall behind you and lift that belly. Yeah. Hands at heart center. Let's rotate to your left, taking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Keep the belly lifted. Remember, we've got this internal stretch. If your belly is really comfortable on your thigh, I want you to lift it inward. And maybe your crown of your head will go forward a little bit more as your tail goes back. One more breath. You got this. Yeah. Weights in the back of our feet. Come on back to center and lift to the sky. Take the inner fingers together. Take the palms to the sky. Now softly draw them down in front of the body. Once your arms are right out of the shoulder socket, I want you to reach forward through the heels of your hand. And then I want you to take the back of your head and draw it to the wall behind you. Keep chin is level. Reach, 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 opposite directions again. Yep. Bring the head back up over the shoulders. Release the hands and take them to your back. Draw the core in, roll the shoulder blades together, soften your knees, and hinge forward. We're just going to hinge forward first. Now lift those knuckles to the sky. Wherever you can go, that's where you should go. Take the crown of the head forward to get a little bit of that neck out of the shoulder area. See if you can squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit more. Lift up on those fingers a little bit more. And hinge as deep as you are able. And then inhale the belly inward and up into the heart center. And as you exhale, let everything just go overhead. So good, so good, so good. Release the arms out in front. Let them swing a little bit. Then draw the palms together, thumbs to the heart center, drop the hips, come up into a chair. Walk your way through this again. Remember, we're weighted in the back of our body, but our belly is engaged, taking those hips even further back, elongating our spine. Yeah. Rotate the body to the right, lay the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press through the palms of those hands, lifting our belly in, taking the hips back. Feel yourself engaged. Holy cow. Nice. Good job, guys. Yep. Bring yourself back to center. Rise to standing, and then forward fold. Just hang here in a nice fold. Ragdoll arms or in elbows. Lift the core up. Let it all go. Soft knees. You can have them bent as much as you want. On an inhale, let's lift up into monkey or halfway. Hands right underneath our kneecaps. Exhale and walk back out into our plank. Release ourselves down to the mat, either knees first or chaturanga. Plant the tops of the feet. Lift up into Cobra. Yeah, low back work here. Exhale back down. This time, inhale up into Cobra. Release the arms long, palms down. Slide the shoulders away. Keep pressing through the tops of those feet. Look right down your nose. Extend the top of the head towards the wall in front of you. On an exhale, release the arms and head back down to the mat. Let everything go soft. On your next inhale, bring the shoulders onto the back, lift the heart center up. Shoot the arms down the side, point the toes and lift the legs. Take 3 breaths here, gang. Breathe the belly all the way into the mat. Keep reaching the fingertips back, lifting the legs as much as you're able, keeping the legs as together as possible. One more breath. Inhale. Oh, it's so good for our back body. And exhale everything to the mat. Slide the hands under the shoulders and go back into a child's pose. Yeah, so good. One more breath. Bring the hands back to the knees. Have a squat. Knees are wide. Have your squat. Okay, you up on the balls of your feet. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you already went to standing. Or maybe you're going to draw the shoulders up over the hips today. Balance is always something that's different each and every day. Hands at heart center. Tuck the elbows in. Press the palms together. Softening our gaze. Maybe wearing a smile. Maybe not. On your next inhale, I want you to press down through the balls of your feet, press the palms together, and lift your body up, keeping the heels up as long as possible, and then bringing everything down into a mountain pose. Excellent. Bringing the hands back to heart center. Take a look down at your feet. Are they hip distance apart, or what I would always term tooth distances apart? I want you to lift those toes, really lift them up into your body. One, it just feels miraculous, I think. And then lay the toes down. Go ahead and sink the weight into your left leg. Press down with that foot and come up on the toes of your right foot. And on an inhale, I want you to take one giant step forward. Okay? Now check in with your hips. See if you can rotate them just a little bit as you come down into a shorter lunge. We're not on a super long lunge here. I just want you to feel the hip lifted or the heel lifted. Now take that left heel and lengthen it. Okay? Go ahead and bend it again. Maybe you can sink down a little deeper. And then lift it out again, really lengthening here. Now pull up onto that glute muscle and press down with your right heel. Knees right over the ankle. Now, Come on back over. I have a tendency to lean forward in my lunges. I have to remind myself to keep my hips over my shoulders over my hips, okay? And now go ahead and take the arms up. So this is a shorter lunge as opposed to stepping into it. We step forward in it as opposed to from a plank or down dog. Reach on up and then take the arms out into those goal posts and really open. Give yourself a little bit of a back bend. Yeah. Inhale back up. And let's do that again. Exhale. Bring the elbows down. One more time. Inhale on up. And exhale on down. This time when we inhale up, we're going to bring the palms together and we're going to lay them back down to our heart center. And we're going to lay that left heel down and straighten our right leg. Okay? Taking our hands down to our side, placing the hands on our hips. I'd like you to hinge right at the hip. So right at that hip line, you're pressing on your left foot back, you're pressing on your right foot forward. And I want you to find your back parallel to the ground first. Hands can stay on the hips or they can come back out, palms down or up, whatever your shoulders like. And really reach the crown of the head forward. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, release the hands down to the mat. And again, if you had blocks, this would be another way to open up that back body. Wherever you find yourself, bend your right knee, take your hands to the top of the mat. So you're going to reach beyond that foot, lift the left heel, step back into your plank, lower yourself to the mat, lift up into your Cobra. Press yourself up into a plank, back into a down dog. Walk yourselves on back to greet your feet. Slowly rise, hands to heart center. Let's do that on the other side, then we will finish on the mat. So sink some weight into your right hip, come up on the toes of your ball of your left foot, and take a giant step forward. So you're in that lunge. Find out on this side, gang. Feel your hip creases right across from one another. Bending the right knee, reach back with that right heel. Draw up that pelvic hammock, bring the shoulders. You might have to scoot your upper body back over those hips a little bit. Hands overhead. Breathe and exhale into your goal post. Heart center's open. Yes, so nice. Inhale back up. Exhale back down. Inhale back up. And exhale back down. Excellent. Inhale back up. Hands to heart center. And then lay that right heel down. Extend your left leg. Hands to hip, keeping those hips level, leaning forward. So as we do that, what do we need to do? Pressing our belly button up, making space in the underbody, reaching the crown of the head forward. And again, you have variations. Arms can go out long. They can come down to the floor. You get to decide. Because it is all about you. Let's go ahead and bend that left knee. This time we'll take the right knee down to the mat, flatten the top of the foot, draw the left knee back. Find a nice child's pose for a breath. Let it all go. Softly sliding the hands under the shoulders. Lifting ourselves up, taking our heels out from underneath our bum, and slowly finding our way back to the mat. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms overhead. Exhale everything back center. 2 more times. Point the toes away. Inhale long. Exhale, center. Inhale long. And exhale, center. Allow the arms to come down into a low V. Take the heels, stretch the heels away, maybe take them to the edges of the mat. Softly shift the shoulders and let everything go. If there's another movement that you would like to do before you rest, by all means do. And then travel when you are ready with your breath and begin to really embrace whatever sensations were created during our titled movement. Relaxing all the facial features. Feeling the weight of our gifted bodies. Just draw closer and closer into that surface beneath us. Being still, being at peace, living with acceptance, accepting the love our own self has for ourselves. My dear, dear friends, before you bring yourself up to a seated position, take one last view of you in this repose. Set an intention for your day ahead. Say that 3 times silently to yourself. And as you do, bring gentle movement into your bodies. Drawing the knees into the heart and rolling to whichever side you're most comfortable. And then using your strong arms to come up into your seated position. Let's take a community breath, a deep inhale, and then we will audibly exhale. So inhale. And again, inhale. Let's take the right hand onto our heart, left hand over top of our right. Relax the shoulders down. May you find ease in today. May you better understand after time on the mat, it's not the past, it's not the future. It's where we greet ourselves each day, in each moment, when we're able to fulfill the reasons we are here. With that thought in mind, I thank you for sharing time with me today. I love you tons. And may the day as you walk around be filled with rejoice, exceptionally filled with laughter and love. And until we see one another again, namaste. Thanks, guys. Great to have you today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you next week, okay?
All right.